So this is the first in my series of amps I've owned over the years. This is the first amp I ever owned. I bought it, I think, in around 1978. I was 12 or 13 years old at the time. And it was a mid-60s Fender Super Reverb, also known as the black face because it had a black face where the controls were. And I was told at the time that it's better to get what they called the pre-CBS ones, which were the ones that were made before CBS bought Fender. Anyway, that's the one I had. It did not have a ground plug, so I shocked myself quite a few times using it. Whenever I would touch something metal or anything having to do with any other electrical connections, I would get quite a shock at times. Um, Never did any retubing or any kind of service to the amp. Of course, I didn't really know any amp techs at that time either. This is what the back of it looks like. Um, yeah, the reverb tank did not work, but the vibrato did. Everything else worked on it. And I kept it all the way until I was about, I think, 16 years old. So at least 3 or 4 years. And the one thing I would have to say about it is because it did not have a separate master volume, you really had to crank it kind of loud to get any kind of distortion out of it. Um, Once it was about three and a half on the volume control, then the tubes would start to distort, and it got a really great rock tone at that point. But practicing at home by myself, it was difficult because it was pretty loud by the time it started to distort. But playing with a drummer, it worked really, really well. So anyway, that was my first amp. So first in the series.